For over 30 years, he lived among them, a church president, a family man, a city worker. No one suspected that Dennis Rader was actually one of the most sadistic serial killers in American history, and he named himself BTK. Bind, torture, kill. Wichita, Kansas, late at night, 1974. A quiet street swallowed in fog, but not empty, because he was out there. In a hidden basement he worked, old tools, strange jars, a methodical mind at work in secret. Each knot, each cut, every move was calculated, cold, precise, like a ritual. He wrote in shadows, letters filled with arrogance addressed to police, proof he craved. His threat, typed for the world to see, "I will kill again," a taunt he meant to fulfill. The facade of family life, hiding horror behind closed doors, smiling pictures in empty halls. Meanwhile, police toiled through the night, chasing whispers, haunted by his words. On Sundays, he sat quietly in church, a leader, a father, a neighbor. But behind that mask, death watched and waited. He blended in, barbecues, smiles, handshakes, while mentally scripting his next hunt. No one noticed the rope in his hand. The tools were ordinary, his mind was not. He stalked them from a distance, memorizing routines, waiting for the night they'd never see coming. A light still on, a window unlocked. That's all he needed to decide. It was time. Inside silence. But time moved slow. Every creak of the floorboard, his soundtrack. With gloves on and breath steady, he sealed their fate, quiet, controlled. Final, the families he chose, random yet intimate. He watched them, imagined their final moments long before they came. Fear was his oxygen. He didn't just take lives, he drained them slowly, savoring every second. He left behind trophies, broken pieces of lives he shattered, each one sacred to him. The media dubbed him a ghost. BTK. No prints, no tracks, only letters full of riddles and pride. Detectives mapped his madness, but the trail was cold, each clue more taunt than truth. Years passed. The trail faded. His name turned myth. But monsters don't retire. They wait. Then, in 2004, he returned. A new letter. Same ego, same evil. But this time, he made a mistake. He sent a floppy disk, confident, arrogant, asked the cops, "You can't trace this, right?" But they did. The metadata didn't lie. His church, his name, his digital fingerprints exposed. The knock came quietly, in broad daylight. The friendly church guy, now surrounded by flashing lights. He sat calmly, no resistance. He'd waited years for this moment, his final performance. One by one, he walked them through the horror. 10 victims, bound, tortured, killed. He drew diagrams, reenacted the moments, no remorse, just pride in his precision. His own daughter shattered. She grew up loved by a monster in disguise. The congregation was stunned. Their president, the man who spoke of God, was the BTK killer. Hidden in his home were files, plans, maps, fantasy scripts he'd prepared for decades. Inside a crawl space they found his shrine, twisted trophies and stories only he understood. In court, he was cold, mechanical, describing each murder with no emotion, just order. He looked into the lens like he was starring in a documentary. Calm, proud, delusional. They locked him away forever. No chance of release, no final kill, just silence. But the true story belongs to the victims, the lives he stole, the names he couldn't erase. The headline hit every front page, 10 life sentences, one for each soul he silenced. In prison, he writes, pages of reflections, but never remorse, only rewrites of his own legend. Outside, storms pass, but inside his cell, the storm never ends. Just looping thoughts and locked doors. But the world remembers the victims, not the monster. Faces frozen in time, lives stolen too soon. Survivors and loved ones spoke, not with hate, but with heartbreak. They told the real story. He walks in circles now, day after day, a man who once hunted, now only haunts himself. Behind that glass, there's no mask left, just Dennis Rader, BTK, a broken echo of evil. For years, he lived behind bars, trapped by steel in his own darkness. The files grew thick with time, evidence, confessions, memories too grim to forget. Isolation became his only company. The silence he once created now trapped him. Cold walls, harsh lights, reminders of a life sentenced to endless punishment. But beyond the bars, the memories live on, smiles frozen in time, never forgotten. He lived a double life for over 30 years. Evil hides in plain sight.